I am going to be continuing drawing this in Adobe Flush. Right, okay, we are into episode number 13. Audience applauding. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you are audience applauding directly at a screen, thank you very much, but I probably won't be able to hear your one doing it for me from where you are watching this from. But anyway, I'll just show what I've got so far.
Hi there, I'm a voice actor for Hiroshi for this animation. Before we start, please do give SilverHunterN a thumbs up on this, and subscribe.
Yeah, that's pretty good so far. Alright, okay, we'll zoom in. So, we're going to do this. So, fun fact, because I've done a lot of this already, because that's why I'm on episode number 13, it's where I could probably just go get some of the frames I've already done earlier on and just do it that way. So, there, we'll use that one. The thing is though, that once you've got the mouth poses and chin poses there, what you're probably going to be doing is doing a lot of copy pasting. So, yeah. This here. This. Let's see how it goes now.
On this.
Ooh, it's silent there. Oh, maybe I should have get rid of those 4 frames. And then we'll add 4 more frames. There we go. Nice. So all we have to do is get one that's more open. No, that's got an O pose. Right. I'm trying to find one. Yeah, that's quite a good pose. There we go. The thing is though, is that his fangs are like more pointed here than it's like that frame, but I'm pretty sure if you see this at very quick rates like this,
On this.
you wouldn't be able to notice that. It could be okay. So we can add one more frame there. Get that out. I wish there was a shortcut since I have to right click so much, that's the thing. So we need to do yeah, there. Nice, so we can keep that part blank because the voice actor made a pause there. I did ask him to do that. So yeah. Right. Let's just hear it from here.
And subscribe. And subscribe to
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we can grab that. We know what we're doing with that frame straight away. There. And that's gonna be well easy. So that's us here. Oh, that can go here as well because that part and that part to be identical. No, not that one. There. That's a perfect mouth pose for the and word. There. So we are gonna need to press F6 a bunch of times. Yeah. I wish there were custom shortcuts you can actually make, kind of like how you do in Vtuber mode. Huh. So we need the S pose. So that is good for here. Subscribe
to this.
Nice. So we can take that like there. So we need that one because for one frame he actually has the mouth closed. So sub, then scribe. So you know. Yeah. Sub. So we need an O part. So this is going to be a little bit different. So there. Where is it? Yeah, there. That's a good pose. There.
Subscribe to his channel.
Oh, need to make. Oops. Make an extra frame there. Frame there.
This channel.
There. Probably take one more frame out there, because, you know, when you get to the end here, you don't want there to be extra frames right at the end of those. They'll just go pitch white right at the end, which is not what we want. So just mind out for the end frames.
Subscribe to his
Scribe. We can just scribe. Yeah, he's not gonna have his teeth out for this part. So subscribe. Okay.
Subscribe to his channel.
Subscribe. F6. Just trying to find the right one. Right. Control Shift V. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I think I should put an extra one there. Remove a frame there. And there you go. Do that. Press F6 3 times. Delete all these off. Scribe 2. Yeah, we'll need an O pose for this one. So all we have to do is get that up there. Grab that. Put that here. Grab that. Put that here. And now we've got the 2 word his. So that should be quite easy to sort out. His. So his. There we go. Put that there. You know, realistically I should zoom in a bit more, so you can actually see a bit more clearly what's going on. Right. Grab that. Control Shift V. Grab that. Put that here. Oops. I just made a mistake. His. It's supposed to be his, not 2. His. I'll put that one here. Oops. I made a mistake there. Well, I want to keep this mistake in just to show that humans can still make mistakes. So, you know, I want to keep that part in. There we go. I have heard that there's this thing called Suno AI, and it's where someone else called Harut, he's a good guy by the way, and it's where he showed a side-by-side comparison of himself doing hand-drawn animations like this, right? And he showed a Suno AI one, and he did it on purpose, right? And the Suno AI one was just really struggling, and he didn't do expressions very well, and he couldn't make his own character spin round and dance very well, whereas his one, which was human drawn, was loads better. Like, well, of course, human art wins and human animation wins because it takes effort, whereas AI can only do things at a simple level. So, you know. So, channel. So we'll get this. Right, we need the L. No, we'll do the ch part. I did showcase this before, and it's where I've got these two here. These are excellent references, but I use this one much more. So when you have the ch, that one's the brilliant one. So we're going to find that one that I made earlier on. So where's the ch? Oh yeah, because it's silent for that part, isn't it? That looks like a good pose. Hold on. Yeah, that one's quite good. We're gonna use that one that I made from earlier on. Control C. Yeah, we need to go back a little. It's finding the frames that you haven't used for a little while. That's the hard part. So let me get this.
To this channel if you're new.
There. Got that. Channel. There. No. Yeah, that's we need to get rid of that. No. So we need channel. Yeah, we need another pause. Yeah, I thought so. Right, so we need the O pose. There we go. Now when it says the L letter, we do need that one, and I've already made one like that earlier on. So we just need to look for the word that says the word which has an L letter in it. Yeah, there it is. There's the mouth pose. That's well. Good that I made that earlier on. Right, Control Shift V, channel.
If you're new.
If
you're new.
Oh, I need to take that one out and increase one there. There we go. F6. One there. Right. If you just need just a simple one here. There. We will have his teeth sticking out for this one. Well, if. There we go. So we need a teeth pose. Yeah, that one's good. There. Control Shift V. There we go. Nice. We've still got a few words to go, but hey. Right, so take these out. Right. Right. Take this. Control Shift V. So we're gonna go the yaw with the O pose. So yeah. Yaw. Right. There, we'll grab that one. We're gonna add an extra frame, so we'll keep hold of that one for for 2 frames instead of 1. You can experiment a little bit as long as it makes sense. You can guess a tiny bit when it comes to lip syncing or chin syncing.
Channel if you're new.
There. We'll keep that on there because that's the beginning of him saying new. And we need the O pose back again. That one there. That there. Grab that. That there. Grab that. It's a similar procedure for the whole thing. It's sort of like the first 10 frames of the lip syncing, etc. That's actually the hardest part. So you actually have to draw all this up first, then it gets easier. And the best thing about 2D art, especially if it's your own one, is that you can actually make fresh new poses other than the same character. Because the first time you draw up a character, it's quite hard, but second time onwards, drawing a character even at a different viewpoint, it gets a lot easier because it's like, oh, you know a lot more about anatomy, etc. That sort of thing. People say anatomy is very important. I think mostly yes, but if you got a really tall character, really slim legs, you got really tall characters like Sailor Moon or something, then anatomy doesn't really apply there because they tend to have really thin arms and stuff. I don't know why they do that. I mean, I know it's the artist choice, but it's like, I don't like it when characters have really thin arms, because there's a Mega Man character called Geo Stellar, right? And so I get that he's supposed to be 10 or 11 years old, but he has really skinny arms, and I don't know why they've done that. It's like he just looks unrealistically skinny, you know? Because look at my character, right? It's where he's supposed to be a little bit muscular, right? That makes sense because he's supposed to be an assassin for a king, right, in my story. And so it wouldn't make sense if he's got really skinny arms. He's going around carrying a samurai sword and a kunai knife with him and that sort of thing, like a real ninja would, right? Imagine if this character's arms is really skinny, it wouldn't make sense. So, you know. And by the way, this character's supposed to be 41 years old in this exact time frame anyway, so yeah, you know. So yeah, so I don't understand why Capcom or anyone else actually makes some characters with really skinny arms. I don't understand. Not too long ago, I was browsing through artworks of other people, especially on social media, and sometimes they do the same thing. They make really skinny legs and really skinny arms, but suddenly they've got like an adult-sized head like this. Like, I don't know why they do that. It's like, you know, it's like, yeah, definitely learn about anatomy. Definitely. Right, because I've already lip-synced him doing the word "and" over here, this is going to be very similar to this "and." The only thing is though, I'm saying it slightly quicker here compared to here. So we'll do a quick comparison.
And with that,
compared to this.
And subscribe to his channel.
Okay, maybe within at the same sort of rate. I'm not sure, but anyway, we'll just reuse these ones I've done from earlier on. Grab that. There we go. We'll miss that one out because we only have 3 frames to work with, so over here. Right. F6 a bunch of times. That's good. So with the width, we're gonna have to start with an O pose, or at least very close to being that. So we'll use that one. Alright, put that there. So we need one that goes between there and there. So we'll do it from, we'll take that one, that one's fine. Control Shift V, width. So we need, yeah, that one. That's the one I was looking for. There. So we need the TH word. Right. Oh, I can reuse this. Maybe a bit later. Right. Take that one. And that one. Yeah. Oh, wow. You're a little bit too far forwards. We're nearly done.
Let's.
So we'll make a split there. Wow. This is with that with a lot of frames. Oh, okay. I've not talked to Palve for a little while, the guy who does this character's voice. But yeah. So with that, yeah, we need that really good teeth pose that I made earlier on. Yeah, that one's quite good. Yeah, and he even has the edge of his tongue behind the top teeth, which is brilliant. That's a brilliant pose to use. That. Yeah, that one's quite good. Right, so that to that. So there's tongue difference there. That's Right. I think I can just... Because the longer they say the word, the more frames you can actually have sharing, so we can have that across two frames. So we can increase it by 1 for that. It's like...
That...
Right. Like that. There. Place it there. Get that one out. Right, so we can take that one out, press F5, put this over here, there we go. One, two, yeah, there we go. Right. There. Have a look. Yeah, we need the tongue behind the teeth one. For the L part. Yeah. Notice I'm using that part a lot more now. That mouth part much more. Let's start. Where is it? Yeah, that one's quite good. Let's say that one there. There. Brilliant. Take this one, place it here. There we go. Let's
start.
In fact, I think I could just keep that one there. There we go. And there. There. Start. There we go.
Let's start. So
we're nearly done with it, actually. Oh, you have 3 words to go. So, yeah.
Start. So.
Start. Right. Get that out. Increase it by 1. See. We'll make a break here. I don't know why my internet suddenly decided to cut out. It keeps doing this. Right. There we go. Start. Right. Alright. Might change it to being the teeth pose instead. Start. You know what? I'm going to change that one up a little bit. Right. So we'll take it there. Right. Put that one there. There we go. Right. I might make a fresh new mouth pose. So hold on a second. I think we should make another one. Because right at the beginning I put like a really big open mouth pose. Let's take that one. So we'll go over here. Oh, I think that's very similar. Oh, that's very similar. Maybe not. No, I think we'll be alright actually. I think we need one that's between that and that. Oh no.
Start. So. Start. So. Enjoy.
Oh wow, I didn't realise it actually starts earlier. So there you go. There, that's much better. Oh, there is. Oh, that's where the. Yeah, I know where I'm going wrong. I actually need to make a new teeth pose for that. So what I'll do. I should have done this earlier on, but it's okay. I can draw just a little more, just make one more. It's because sometimes I like having this character's teeth be invisible, sometimes I don't. So put these and here. Oops. Put that in the wrong line. Oh no, it's locked layer anyway. So yeah, put it like that. So we will color code that red. Actually no. No, that's not good. You can't really see that very well. Ah, that's much better. Or I think we should take that as well. It's not going to make sense if the tongue pose is just suddenly like that halfway. So we will use make it blue. There we go. Maybe not blue, we'll make it a different colour because we don't want that. Just if I double click this, it'll double click everything else here, which is not what we want. There we go, that's better. There. So we'll take that one as well. There. Oh, we zoom in a little. We need to about there. Yeah, that looks good. There. Well, get that out. We'll just take all the colouring out. This part's for simplicity's sake. I knew I'd end up needing to make another mouth pause. So let me just... Yeah, that makes sense for the chin as well. Alright. Excellent! Bill and Ted reference. Alright. With them playing on guitars. I do know that there's a 2020 version of that, and two actors, Alex Winters and Keanu Reeves, are back again. I did mention it once before. I've not seen the whole thing, but I have seen like parts of it. It's actually quite well done. So let's border select that. Change that to black. There we go. Oh, that's amazing. There we go. We're definitely making a save there. Oh, that's so much better. I think that we should split that into two. Hit that. There. Now it blends better. And it makes sense with the chin movement here now, because now it actually blends it better. And then jumping from there to there, so at least there's a nice little blend. Yes. There. Nice.
So enjoy. Enjoy.
There we go. Nice.
So enjoy.
Alright.
So enjoy. So
Put like a little silent frame. There we go.
So enjoy.
Yeah, you can tell that's supposed to be for 2 frames. So we will like this. So it's going to be with an O pose. Right. So. So we'll take that one. 1, 2, 3. Right. There we go. There we go. There, we're very nearly done now. What's this?
Let's start. So enjoy. 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 Enjoy.
In fact, I'm gonna break that one there. Hit that one. Not break, delete even. Keep saying the wrong words nowadays. 1, 2. Yeah, you have to do it like this. There. Yeah, it's definitely. Oops. It's definitely not talking there, so we'll take these two out. And put those two in. There. So, enjoy. Right. We will have his teeth sticking out for this one. Where is it? There it is. Wow. It's quite far away, that one. Up there? This here? And
Joy.
yeah, we need to take this one. This one. Yeah. Right. Yeah, we're gonna need another pose for this one. First, enjoy. Do another pose. So like that one there. So we will need it. Then we'll put that one there as well. Where's the other pose? There. I know I'm doing it in slightly different order, but you know. There. Take that one. Put that one there. Right. That there. That there. Right. Put one more frame there. There you have it. That's all done nearly. We can put this back to normal. So there's quite a lot of frames there. So this is how it plays out like this.
Hi there. I'm a voice actor for Hiroshi for this animation. Before we start, please do give SilverHunterN a thumbs up on this, and subscribe to his channel if you're new. And with that, let's start, so enjoy!
Ah, that's pretty good, yeah. One more thing I'll have to showcase. One last thing I will end off the video with. So I've done all the lip syncing for the scene for English Hiroshi. But I think most people don't even know this, but I hired another actor, a Japanese actor, who's a good online friend of mine called Mizard. But I will give a little taste of what he sounds like in Japanese.
いや、俺はこのアニメのヒロシの声優だ。始まる前にシルバーハンター N
So, I need to lip sync this character again in Japanese at some point. I'm not sure when, but I feel like there's a little bit more I can do with this character. Now I don't have to do this, but I've noticed that even though he's got good lip syncing and chin syncing, this character still doesn't blink. And also his hand's just like frozen still. So I'd love to do both of those, but I'm not sure. And but the best thing is that if I do his eyes as well, animate his eyes and animate his hand as well, then that can go across to the Japanese version as well. So yeah, I think I'll end it off here. This is to be continued. If you like my content, you can smash that subscribe button. And you can tick like too.